I think one of the big challenges in taking on this role and, following in the footsteps of a founder is that the organization had grown dramatically under her leadership. And so it was taking it from more of an organic grassroots feel to embedding systems and creating structures to support the size of the organization. And I think coming in, there was a lot of, bringing folks along with those changes and, being able to identify what was needed, and also being able to really get buy-in and set culture around those changes. The board and our founder had really intentionally gathered resources and information for me to help orient me to the donors, the board members, the community. Part of the onboarding was that I had a standing meeting with the founder she made herself available ongoing, but we tried to meet at least weekly just to go through some of the history of the organization, how different aspects had evolved, and then as I was seeing it in real time, to have her available to ask questions was enormous, and to sort of be able to process things with her and bounce ideas off of her about my observations and how they aligned with her observations and experience in the work. So coming into the organization, my feeling was that I was trying to rapidly get caught up on 10 years of the work and the growth of the organization. And so it was really helpful to have folks that could dedicate their time to gathering information and being able to present it to me from a more neutral perspective for me to digest it. And I think that, had I been tasked with gathering all that information myself, it would have been a much longer process for me to get to know sort of the nuts and bolts of the organization. And so just to try to get a well-rounded perspective, some of the areas that I had prioritized were bringing in somebody to do sort of an infrastructure assessment. My organization had just recently separated from their fiscal sponsor, and I really wanted to understand, what needs had been met and what needs remained. And so we started with that process. We also worked with somebody who provided consultation on our fundraising strategies and, conducted an assessment of our fundraising practices and, identified, our, opportunities and, where we could dedicate our energy. We've also moved into having an external evaluation of our finances and internal controls. And so I think having folks with that specific expertise to, come in and make recommendations has given me tools that it would have taken much longer for me to access had I been doing it independently.